Hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Chatting with Humans. I am your host, Darrel-Lynne. Today I had the absolute pleasure of chatting with Daniel Brunelle. Daniel is a fellow improv class student. That's how I met him. That's how we have come to know each other. And it was fun floating this idea out there to my classmates to say, hey, I'm launching a podcast. Do you want to come chat? Because in our improv class, Improv 100, very, very entry level, geared towards people that maybe are a bit anxious in social situations, learning to coming or desiring or wanting to learn how to come out of their shell. And I did mention this on the first episode is this group of humans has really blown me away in the absolute best possible way. So, yeah, it was fun kind of floating this out there to them to see who might bite. And Daniel was the first to say, sign me up. And I'm so glad he did. He shares on this episode anxiety is something that he has lived with, faced, and confronted for his entire life. But he has been taking some major steps in the last few months to get outside of his comfort zone, to expand his social circles, to find his authentic voice through dance, improv, yoga studies, yoga, taking yoga classes, and he shares about that on this inner conversation. This was a fun one and it meant a lot. So thank you, Daniel. Thank you for coming on. I hope I'll be seeing some of my other classmates here across the cameras as these episodes continue to happen. Big thanks to Daniel for bringing his energy and his story to the conversation today. And yeah, just a really great natural flow. And this was his first podcast, like we talk about in the episode as well. So happy listening, everyone. Daniel, welcome. I'm excited to be chatting with you because we have met in improv, so we haven't talked outside of the studio all that much. But there was something I was going to say. Oh my God. Oh yeah. I've had a few conversations now, but you're my first male guest as
Oh,
well.
wow. I'm honored.
Yes. So it's awesome to have you. Thank you for joining.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So while I was kind of like prepping for our conversation, I read through the little form I send when the guest is booking. Nothing too extensive, nothing crazy, but you really gave an excellent snapshot of what you've been up to and the path that you've been walking over the last few years. So I want to dig into it, but also before we get too far in, I want to understand what brought you to improv class in the first place. What made you step over that threshold and do that?
I think I've been wanting to do improv for I don't know. I've been like nervous to step into that area. I think I've been wanting to do it for a long time. Like watched a lot of Make Some Noise recently, and it just looks like so much fun. Like just basically being silly together, and it's like I never really did any kind of acting as a kid, and I think I've kind of like repressed that side of me a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
uh I don't know, yeah, like this January I kind of just like shotgunned a bunch of new like hobbies and like just
Mm-hmm.
things that are way outside of my comfort zone, and improv was one of those.
Yeah.
And it's been so much fun. It's like very uncomfortable, very very uncomfortable,
It is.
but like in a really good way.
Yeah, it's definitely exceeded any expectations I've had. I think the the fact that it is kind of marketed as Improv 100, like you come in, let's overcome some of our fears and anxieties. I kind of really didn't know what that would look like in like real-time human interaction, but what I've seen is it's offering this incredible space to be really vulnerable, but we're playing, we're laughing, and I think we all felt very safe with each other very quickly. Is that how you felt?
Yeah, I think so. Like it was like the first class was, it was uncomfortable, but like it felt a lot more I don't know, like intimate than I expected.
Yeah.
And I feel like, and I've seen the progression, like each class, everybody is like pretty quickly getting more comfortable and like more confident on stage. And
I
like,
know.
it's really fun to watch, actually.
It is fun. And I've spoken about this previously, I think on my first episode, but it is interesting to see like none of us have this like performer drama. There's no kind of like standout artsy background that's
Hmm.
at least clear to me with the people in our class, but which makes it that much more interesting than we all came from like these various industries and backgrounds, not arts related whatsoever. And we're like, let's go do improv. Why not?
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say it's like the fact that nobody has any experience almost makes it a little bit more fun, less intimidating for sure, and like
Yeah.
it's also like I don't know, it has like some I don't know, it feels special because of that or something.
Does. We're also, like, probably the coolest group ever.
Yeah,
Like, not biased at all in saying that, but yeah.
yeah. No, I think you're pretty on the nose with that.
And then something else I noted is because yeah, you said you stepped into a few things to outside your comfort zone this year is dancing.
Yes, yeah,
And so can you tell me, like, what kind of dancing are you doing? What does that even look like?
yeah. So I kind of like I've dabbled in it a little bit like a year ago. I started swing dancing. There's this place like on White Ave, and it's absolutely amazing. Like they're very beginner friendly. I initially like signed up for some courses like a long time ago, about a year ago, and I didn't really stick to them. Like there was a lot of I had a I never danced when I was younger, and I feel like I always really want. I'm very I love music. I'm always like when I'm in the car by myself, I'm like belting out the songs and I'm like hitting the wheel in rhythm with the music and everything.
Yes.
But I never really did anything with that, and I felt like I should, but I just didn't know how to get into that because I was never exposed to it as when I was younger. So like coming in as a 28, 29-year old guy who just has never danced before. It's very who's also very socially anxious. It's very
Yeah.
scary. But yeah, I started that, and then like it was at kind of a weird point in my life. I didn't really stick with it. But I went to the open house earlier this year in January again, and it was so much fun. Like they gave like a bunch of demos of the different kinds of dances that they teach, and then I signed up for two classes. I signed up for swing. It's called the Lindy Hop, which is like a type of swing dancing,
Okay.
and then I also signed up for solo jazz, which is just like they just like teach you jazz moves basically.
And you're when they say solo, you're not dancing with a partner in there?
Not in that class, but the Lindy Hop is a partner dance.
Interesting.
So that has been so that's twice a week. That's super fun. And then they also have social dances every
Mhm.
weekend, every Friday and Saturday. So they have like a beginner lesson before the dance starts, and then like so for people like who have never danced before, they have a little lesson, and then after that they just have a social. They just start playing music and everybody dances.
That
It's
sounds
like
like so much fun.
yeah, it's I've been doing that since January, like every weekend. I don't think I've missed one weekend since
Mhm.
then, and it's like oh my god, life changing. Like it's
So
so much happier.
what is it bringing out for you? Like, what are the standout things that are just, like, shifting for you now that you've been doing this?
That's a good question. I think I just needed to move a lot more than I used to.
Yeah.
Like I have my work is all on my computer at home. I don't really like socialize a lot. I actually socialize almost zero at work.
Yeah.
And so like part of it is like a social aspect. Can kind of just it's a way to interact with people.
Mhm.
It's also like really good for the brain. I've found like the coordination is like
Yeah.
it was very hard like when I first started. I'm slowly getting better now, but I don't know. It works different parts of the brain, and I feel like my brain is more active since doing that.
Yeah.
Great exercise, and yeah, I think like this. I think the social aspect and like getting the rhythm out of my body. Like I just need to move in some kind of
Yeah.
way.
Mm.
So
Mhm.
it like hits all the points. I feel like
Yeah, I had an event in person. I had my colleague and I, we have a creative container together, and we hosted in-person session this past Saturday. And between doing that and also the social component that's been coming through with the improv classes, and because I work from home, I'm a business owner. I'm on calls here and there. I've started the podcast, which has also increased the amount of conversations I'm having. But man, when you actually get out and start being in social situations and around people a bit more often, it's like it really becomes clear how much maybe it was one missed, but how necessary and needed it is
Yes,
too. Hey?
absolutely. Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
It's crazy the like difference in my mood when I have been socializing regularly versus not.
Hmm.
It's so impactful. Like,
Are you
yeah,
generally, would you describe yourself as an introvert?
yes, yeah.
Yeah. So, like these isolated kind of moments that you're picking throughout your week going to these social settings, do they drain you or do they energize you, or is it just like fills the bucket and then you go home and like kind of re-energize after, or how do you feel?
That's a really interesting question because I guess like that was a really automatic response that I gave where it's like, yes, I'm an introvert, just because that's kind
Mm,
of how I have been my whole life.
yeah.
But recent, like since January, like I'm socializing so much, and I'm not nearly as drained as I thought I would have been from
Mm-hmm.
like if I like thought about the amount of socializing that I'm doing now a year ago, it's
Mm-hmm.
like I would have just like no way, no way.
Yeah. Yeah.
But now that I like these are all things that I'm like just loving doing, and like I'm a lot more like conscious about my interactions with people now in a way of like I'm actually I don't know I'm trying to be myself and like connect with people and like learn about the other people and like it feels a lot more natural now. I don't know what that shift was, if it was just a bunch of like exposure therapy of just I guess I just value it a lot more now.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I'm an extrovert, but like I am like I still do appreciate like just being able to recharge at home, but it's not nearly as draining as I thought it would be.
So there's definitely aspects to this that are actually energizing you in a way too.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, I relate to that so much because I mean, way back in the day, I did the Myers-Briggs, which is like ENFJ, or like mine was ENFJ, which is extrovert. But somewhere along the line, after I did that quiz, I definitely started feeling like I was more of an introvert.
Hmm.
So it's interesting, even myself, because I have been somewhat isolated working from home, where now that I am out in social settings, I'm like, I think two things can be true at the same time when it comes to like this introvert and extrovert. And I actually heard recently there is actually a term for some kind of somewhere in the middle,
Yeah.
where these social settings and situations and scenarios can actually be really energizing
Hmm.
and fill our cups and actually bring out some incredible parts of our personality and whatnot, but it can also be blended with how you re-energize at home in private in your own energy as well. So I'm
Hmm.
like, maybe somewhere in the middle, somewhere in the middle.
How do you? So how long ago was that Myers Briggs test? Do you still
Gosh,
do you feel
it
like
has
that's
to be
still
over a decade. It's probably
okay?
close to like 15 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I haven't really looked into too deeply, but I'm like, do these things change? Can these change? Like, I don't think that we can be necessarily set to the outcomes of these quizzes for our entire lives. If that's your jam, go for it. But I think they can shift. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I also think it's dependent on like the result that you get is also I think very heavily dependent on how you view yourself, not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily how you actually are, but how you view yourself because you're the one answering the questions. And if you don't
Mm-hmm.
know yourself very well, you can't. I don't think you can answer them
That's true.
necessarily very accurately.
There's
But
truth to that. I'm sure I know myself now a lot better than I did from like 15 some years ago. That's for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
do you find yourself like interest? Why do you say that? Are you very
I mean,
introspective?
just what you're saying, because I know for sure there were even, I could flash back to, filling out the multiple questions and not just in that quiz, but different personality quizzes. And there was a searching and an answer that maybe didn't emerge as easily as it would now for how I know my responses would come, let's say. So, yeah. So I know you've shared a little bit about your own anxiety journey. I know that anxiety's been kind of something that you've, would you say, dealt with, lived with, are
Mhm.
aware of, that exists for you. Do you want to share a bit about your anxiety and how that's, I don't know, how do you say
Yeah.
that? What that
Yeah,
looks
sure.
like for you? Yeah.
Yeah. It has been like a very large driving force in my life, I would say. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know when it started, but it was very young, like before I can remember. Like teachers, I hated any attention from teachers at all. Like I would
Mm.
avoid any interaction with like authority figures. If I had the attention of like more than one person on me at a time, I would like freeze,
Mm.
or I would just start rambling because I'm just I don't know, like I wouldn't be able to think clearly.
Mm-hmm.
From like literally like kindergarten, place like preschool, it has been there for as long as I can remember. I've just been like scared to have people's attention. I don't know where it came from, um,
Mm-hmm.
but it has definitely impacted almost every decision that I've made throughout my entire life, I think,
Wow.
including the type of work that I want to go into, like the friends that I make, the hobbies that I have. Yeah, I don't know. It's like I don't know where to go with it because it's just
No.
been there for my for everything. Um,
Yeah.
I think like I've I really started to become conscious of it probably like a few years ago, uh,
Mm-hmm.
where it was like, okay, this is actually something that like I should think about and like try to figure out why this is happening
Mm.
because I'm uh, like I really actually especially out of like coming out of university.
Mm-hmm.
University was like a fantastic part of my life. Like I found like a good group of friends that I felt pretty comfortable with. I had control over my schedule. I could choose when my classes were, and it was just a lot of fun. And like I feel like it set my expectations for what life would be like. And then I
Mm-hmm.
graduated, and then this was also like right when COVID hit. I graduated, I got a corporate job, and then I was immediately working from home.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really excited because like I'm an introvert. I like just kind of being by myself, and that was really exciting for me. And then after about 2 years of that of working from home, I slowly realized that like wow, I haven't like genuinely met somebody new
Mm.
in 2 years, basically. like
Wow. Yeah.
I haven't socialized at all. I didn't have any like hobbies outside of work. Like I just like I had a group of friends that I hung out with online, like I played video games with, and that was
Mm-hmm.
my socializing.
Yeah.
And like the people at my work, I didn't like they were fine, but I didn't really make any good connections there.
Mm-hmm.
So after like 2 years of that, I really realized that like okay, I was also like scared to go. I didn't know what to do about that because I didn't know how to like make friends outside of like making friends in school was like fairly easy because you're just around the same people all the time. Eventually you kind of just
Yeah.
become friends, but not having that after school was like devastating because I didn't know how to socialize basically.
Mm.
So I feel like that amplified the anxiety. Anyways, I slowly kind of like tried to like I tried to start my own business after I left that job, which like got me networking a little bit, and like that was good to like kind of get me out initially.
Mm-hmm.
But even so, I'm trying to think of the timeline here. Like yeah, it's been about 6 years since COVID started.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I kind of started becoming aware of it at the end of like my that job, and then slowly started socializing a little bit. But I really realized that it was like how difficult it was to actually make friends if you're not
Mm-hmm.
around like the same people regularly. Like it's hard to get to know people, break that barrier, and then like invite people out to events, or like it takes a lot more effort than you would think
Mm-hmm.
compared to when you're in school. So I was still like really having trouble like trying to make friends, and like I feel like I'm only just in the past like month kind of like figuring that out. Like ever since I started going to improv and like dancing, and
Yeah.
I started yoga like just at the end of last year,
Mm-hmm.
and rock climbing, and only now and am I realizing like how important it is to just like go somewhere and like keep doing that. It's like
Yeah.
go to the same place regularly and be around familiar people, be
Yes.
welcoming to new people, like just try, yeah, like creating community, cultivating community is
Mm-hmm.
such a huge aspect to life that I'm realizing I've been missing for such a long time, and it's
Um,
so important. So I've really been trying to lean into that as much as I can
yeah.
recently.
It sounds like you've been one building capacity for in your even in your nervous system to be able to do that. Because if you've been in this, let's say, anxious state and it's been there for the majority of your life, yeah, you're going to have to be able to build capacity to extend beyond that, even though it's probably really, really uncomfortable at times, I imagine. Yeah. And then the other component is then just building what I like to always say, just like building the muscle. Building the muscle extends so much farther past the gym because I think every time we're stepping into these scenarios that are outside of our quote unquote comfort zone, then we're able to build the muscle to become more, I mean, I suppose comfortable, maybe. I mean, for me, like every week stepping into improv class is maybe less uncomfortable than the first class, but there's days I don't want to go because it's just like it's uncomfortable. But then by the end, there is this ease that I feel because I did the thing, despite the fact that it felt really awkward stepping into that space yet again. But yeah, it's building capacity and building muscle. And I think that's the only I guess you could call it even exposure therapy in a sense, but like this is how it works. And the fact that you recognized it and knew that that was probably a component, maybe not as consciously until you were in it and you're like, oh, this is a component that I've definitely needed. It was, I mean, good for you for actually just recognizing, hey, like I need to do something different here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I feel like that's a really good way of putting it. It is a muscle that needs to be exercised just like any other muscle in your body,
Yeah.
like being able to, you know, like yeah, your nervous system needs to become like it only grows through, I don't know,
Practice.
practice, yeah, and like doing
Yeah.
things that you haven't done before.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't confronted like probably anxiety to the depths that you've experienced it. I know my own type I know my own type of anxiety and I hide it really, really well. That's my MO. But like something that I've been really navigating lately is just being okay showing up authentically and like how scary it is to just be yourself, which is wild to say. Isn't that weird? Like, oh, it's weird being me. And just like being okay with like, well, however someone may perceive that.
Yeah.
So
How did
bizarre.
you find that last exercise that we did in improv last weekend when we had
Okay,
to
I
like
have to
be
remind me
ourselves?
what was the last exercise?
It was like the grounding one where we had to like we were doing a scene, but we had to do the scene as if it was just us ourselves.
Oh,
I think
okay.
yours was in the
I
elevator.
was in the freaking elevator
Yeah.
with a couple, I mean, our classmates are freaking eccentric and awesome, but like everybody's so unique. That's kind of like the funny thing about this is that was the hardest one that I've done so far because I'm like,
Yeah.
who would I actually be in this elevator if it got stuck with these two people and one of them's pitching me? Like there's real here, but then there's also this isn't real. So it's
Yeah.
like, how do I authentically how I couldn't quite wrap my head around it. And I was bummed. I walked off the stage. I'm sure you may have heard me, but I'm like, that sucked. And then I instantly felt bad because it wasn't about them, like
Yeah.
like our other classmates sucking. It was just like how I'm like, I didn't know how to be in that
Mhm.
moment. And I felt really uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, it is
Yeah.
an interesting exercise. You're like at one point you're practicing like being a character and like you don't have to be yourself at all, and then like the other side of that is you're you're playing yourself but you're still playing a character.
Yeah.
So so you're it's almost like those two are clashing where you're like trying to be a character but you're also trying to be yourself but you can't be both at the same time.
I know. I've been kind of having like this like internal reckoning with, because like, to hear about masks and people wearing masks, and obviously everyone has a different mask depending on what their ego is dictating in whatever scenario. But I'm like, maybe this isn't about needing this to feel bad because I act a certain way in a certain group. Like, I think there's this shame that's been put on, like the fact that we do wear masks, whereas I think they can serve us more than we're giving credit for, and they don't have to be a shameful thing so long as like our authentic self is the one driving the ship behind it, Like for
Hmm.
instance, in improv, my mask is I'm really nervous to be there, but I smile and laugh through it anyway. But at the end of the day, is that really a bad thing? No, not I don't think so, because it allowed me to get in the space and do what I intended to do that day and be with my classmates and the teachers and go through the exercises and laugh off the moments where maybe in the past I would have felt shame or like wanted to hide.
Hmm.
And ultimately, I'm contributing to the energy in the space where we did just come to, I mean, my intention was to come and do this and have fun, you know? But of course, I'm kind of masking the terror I'm feeling throughout those 2 hours, So we don't have to carry shame so long as like I think if it's coming from a good place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like it's a really important tool to
Yeah.
get you into the space in the first place. If you didn't have that, then maybe you wouldn't be there.
Wouldn't show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
yeah, I mean, it's good to learn how to like learn like what your authentic self is, but
Mhm.
I mean, we need to protect ourselves at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I mean, we didn't mention this, but this is your first time doing a podcast. Yeah.
Yes.
So like this must be in itself stepping into a layer of discomfort. I would imagine so, because for my first one I was nervous. So, yeah.
Have you like been on a podcast before?
Yeah, I've done about a handful, I think.
Okay.
No word of a lie, the first one that I did, I was so nervous. Thankfully, the person that was hosting was a friend and really held the space for me. We had to pause because I was crying. Like I
Oh,
stuttered out. Like it was bad.
yeah.
So I know that it's like, it's not a small feat, like stepping into the space, not for everyone. I think some people it comes more naturally than others, but
Yeah.
yeah, it
Yeah.
can be scary.
Yeah. Like I feel like I kind of just have this I've especially over the past 2 months I've learned how to kind of just accept my baseline of anxiety
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of try to help it propel me into doing things rather than holding me back.
Mm,
Um like I definitely definitely have it. I'm experiencing anxiety for sure,
sure.
but I wasn't as nervous about this as I thought I might be coming into
Good.
it, and I think it's just because I know I've convinced myself because it's true that I just really like having conversations with people. I think it's like it fills my jar, like to use that analogy. It
Yeah.
and I was really excited about that. And then there's like a little bit of extra like cognitive room to be like, okay, this what I'm saying is going to be online forever now, probably. So
Mm,
that's an interesting aspect to it.
I know.
But like, really, like if I'm just kind of walking into, yeah, I'm just gonna have a conversation with someone who's really cool. So
Oh, likewise. No, I feel that too. Actually, that was one of the things I struggled for a long time with social media and just like online presence is like the what the longevity of that could look like and mean. And actually, it stopped me from doing things for a while because I have perfectionistic tendencies where I could have this retrospect moment and I'd look back and see this thing and I'm like, oh, I don't believe that anymore. I don't think like that anymore. But I think what some of the most authentic people do in the online space is they're able to embrace who they are today and they're able to vocalize the pivots that they're making and like they're able to embrace in a more public way who they are through the progression of that of however long, right? So um, learning to just allow myself to be who I was online 5 years ago, that has been like that's been a process.
yeah,
And I think, people have these weird memories where if you say something and then they remember you for that. And then if you pivot your opinion or whatever, I'm afraid, like, I'm scared someone will call me out and be like, but you said this, because that's what people do, right?
Bring up the receipts.
Yeah, but that's just another, again, that's another invitation to step into another level or layer of discomfort too, to be able to, if I'm looking forward to the day, actually, I'm confronted with someone that's ready to challenge me in some way. I haven't been challenged that much online. I know a lot of people have, and how I would handle that. Because that used to be a really scary notion for me not that long ago. So I was just voice messaging with a friend this morning, and I told her, like, I've stepped into this like new level of like, I don't care what people think, which I wasn't able to say for a very long time.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I,
which is
yeah.
weird.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm actually there yet, but like,
That's okay. We're building.
so yeah, I like, yeah, this was probably a couple of years ago now, but I remember like going through my Facebook profile and
Hmm.
just like so much cringe. And I ended up just like completely making my whole Facebook private essentially. It's like I can't handle the way I used to be.
Mm-hmm. I was emo as fuck. Like, how many song lyrics can a person post? Like, come on.
The song lyric in like the late 2000s, that was
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I love it. So, yeah, if just to go back to the anxiety piece, I was curious, you ever dug in a little bit for yourself if you want to share? If not, I get it. But do you know what like the anxiety was rooted in? Have you looked back and thought like, I wonder like where this came from? Have you gotten to that point of like figuring it out?
I wouldn't say I've figured it out, but I have some ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know how deep I want to get into it, but
Sure.
I think there's just a lot of I think it's been kind of a generational thing that
Mm.
I was susceptible to,
Mm-hmm.
where there was a lot of very strong traditional dynamics like in my family where the man is the head of the household and like the woman cooks and cleans, doesn't usually have a job. My immediate family isn't like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think those ideologies still like pass through, and because our family is a little bit different than like what was kind of expected of us,
Mm-hmm.
there was, I don't know, there's this level of discomfort and like lack of belonging, or like um just this kind of like underlying foundation of feeling inferior to people.
Okay. Yeah.
And yeah, I think it was a lot of environment, like very environmental, but I was also very susceptible to it genetically,
Mm.
probably just kind of the way I was made up.
Yeah. Like a generational passing,
Yeah,
but it sounds to me like you are resetting that program in a sense for yourself,
trying to. Yeah,
trying to. Yeah, I mean, it's a process, but I think it's really cool how you just like decided for yourself, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And like you even said in the last improv class, you're not coming to the next two classes. Or is next class your last class?
I'll be there on Sunday, but
Okay,
that'll be my last class.
because you're doing yoga teaching?
Yeah, I'm doing yoga teacher training, which I'm really excited about. And I am really conflicted. I'm like trying to find ways of like, maybe I could like get out of that for 2 hours to come to improv. I don't know if
Yeah.
how easy that'll be, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's like I've been doing yoga since about September, I think, is when I started.
Okay.
September or October, and that was at like a very very low point in my life. I just kind of like, there was a lot of drama in my 10-year relationship that just ended, and I was very like peak depression, anxiety, identity crisis, don't know who I am. And the first thing that I did kind of after that was yoga. Like I knew I needed to like get out of the house and like
Yeah.
do something kind of like physical. And I was a little bit familiar with yoga because I did that a long time ago. I didn't continue it because it's pretty expensive, and I wasn't really benefiting as much as I like that much from it back then.
Yeah.
So I decided to come back to it, and that was like the first thing that started to make me feel grounded after that situation. Like I finally started to I don't know, look inward a little bit, like in terms of like actually thinking about how I'm feeling. Like I'm very much in my like I'm kind of a neurotic person where I'm like always thinking about things as logically as I can, and
I didn't get that impression at all.
I think I do give off that vibe pretty well. But yeah, I am. So yeah, I've and this has been kind of how I have been for as long as I can remember. Just very analytical. I try to look at things super objectively, and it's very annoying sometimes for
Mm-hmm.
other people and me.
Yeah.
But I've really leaned on that like a lot throughout my entire life, and by leaning on that, I kind of like I don't. It's kind of a chicken or the egg thing, but like I kind of just learned how to not feel my emotions. I never learned how to do that in the first place, I don't think.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
So yeah, I've always just been able to kind of like talk myself out of things, or like just objectively look at things but not actually feel what I'm feeling. But
Mm.
that was I didn't know how to truly handle like those feelings of like depression, anxiety, all of the feelings that I was feeling, including
Mm-hmm.
happiness, like the good ones and the bad ones. And yeah, yoga I feel like helped started to ground me a little bit, and like realize that okay, by like being in my head all the time, I'm not present. Like I'm thinking about the future, I'm thinking about the past. It's not
Mm.
productive. Like I mean, like it can help like improve the way I do things if I reflect on things for sure. But if that's like my entire life, I'm just not living. I'm not living in the present.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, something with yoga just helped that click for me.
Okay.
And that was kind of like a catalyst for like this is really energizing. I need to figure out how to do more of this. I need to figure out how to actually feel feel things, like allow myself to feel things.
Yeah.
And yeah,
That's
that
so
just led into
powerful.
that.
Oh my God. No, legit. Like that is so powerful. You have
Yeah,
no idea. Like I hope you're giving yourself like the moment for like realizing that for yourself and like what that means because that's big.
thank you. Yeah, it has been there has been a lot of like crying in the car after a yoga session of like,
Oh
oh
my
my god,
God.
I haven't like
Yes.
actually like I didn't realize these were the things that my body was trying to tell me. Even like obviously the less fun emotions of like depression and anxiety and those kinds of things, but also like the things that were like I was stopping myself from having fun or like being excited a lot of the time because I like wanted to have this persona of like being a really logical, analytical person, and
Mm.
like just letting myself like dance, for example, was just
Yeah.
not in the cards when I was younger. That was just not who I was. I just blocked that off entirely, and I was
Mm.
like suppressing these really powerful emotions because of that persona I gave myself.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been pretty life changing, kind of realizing realizing that.
Oh my God, no kidding. So yoga has helped you connect with your body, your emotions, what your body is telling you. And now you're going to step into teacher training so that you can take it to the next level for yourself.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So like, yeah, yoga has been very good. I've kind of like gotten to know some of my instructors a little bit, and they're all very friendly and supportive. And I went out for coffee with one of the guys who kind of facilitates the teacher training program, and that
Yeah.
was just like a really interesting conversation. He talked for like 3 hours one evening about everything, and it's more of a like what I got from that was it's more about they'll obviously teach you like the philosophy and like teaching practices of yoga, but it's more of what it's about is basically like finding yourself, like learning how to be a person, like learning how to be in the present.
Mm.
It's 25 sessions of 8 hour, like 8 hour, 25 8 hour sessions. That's
Wow.
the yoga teacher training curriculum timeline.
Okay.
So it's a lot. It's pretty intense, and we're going to be learning uh, like we'll be learning a bunch of yoga poses and like how to teach them. But we're also going to be learning the philosophy of yoga, we're going to be learning Sanskrit, which is like the language that
Yeah.
all the poses are kind of written in.
Mhm.
We're going to be learning anatomy and history, and there's 8 different instructors throughout the program. So it's like it's pretty elaborate, and it's more so
Yeah.
about basically teaching you how to be a yogi rather than, and then like through that you're able to share that information of like self discovery with other people through the practice of yoga.
Wow. What kind of yoga is it?
So the kind that I do, like, I don't think they're going to be teaching a particular kind. I think
Okay.
they'll probably be covering several kinds. I usually like the yoga classes that I usually go to are either the flow classes or the yin classes. Those are two like
Okay.
very different ones. But yeah, I think they're going to be teaching quite a spectrum in yoga techniques.
Okay. Very cool. I just finished, well, it took me far too long to finish reading it. Are you familiar with the book Autobiography of a Yogi?
That's on my list. I haven't read it yet.
Yeah. It's embarrassing how long that book took me because it was so involved and there's like footnotes on footnotes, but it was such a good book. And I mean, this is a very well-known book about the Yogi Yogananda, right? So, but that in itself is a different yoga technique too. What he was, I think it's evolved into everyone the kind of like the how we know yoga to be positioned and like literally like an exercise for our
Mhm.
body, but there's so much more to it than that,
Yeah,
clearly.
yeah.
Yeah, I love that for you. Although if you can figure out how to finish off our improv
I
classes for the
know.
next few weeks.
My God, I'm so sad that it overlaps.
I know. I know. You got an overlap. I just have a feeling those last couple weeks are going to be pretty fun because the
Those are going to be
instructors
the
told
best ones. Yeah, I
they
know.
kind of are. They kind of are. Because like the instructors are giving us a little more room to play.
Mhm.
I mean, we still got next class and they told us we're going to go into like longer form improv,
Yeah,
which I have no idea what to expect. But I'm looking forward to that aspect because the short ones are fun. Like the activities and things we've done so far have been really fun. But sometimes, yeah, I'm left kind of like wanting a little bit more, you know?
yeah, yeah. You're like just
So
warmed up, and
yeah,
then
I
it's the
just
end of
got warmed
class.
up. It's done. It's also like, mm, there's a part of the improv, at least for me, is like therapy almost. I love how we
Yeah,
like sit around in a
genuinely.
circle and share.
We
Yeah.
each we each get our time to talk.
I know. I mean, we don't hold back either. Like, I mean, there's some great shares is the point. Is like there's not a lot of like hiding away, which is great. But I mean, we could probably just sit there for 2 hours just
We
talking
oh
about
I,
life.
yeah, I'm sure we.
Yeah, sometimes like, okay, we're half hour in. When are we gonna start doing some
Yeah,
improv, guys? No, but it's fun. It is therapy. Okay, so very excited for you for the yoga. Obviously, a little like not stoked that you're gonna miss out on some of the best classes, but
yeah.
I get it. It does sound extremely intensive, though, what you're doing. Do you think you'll move into instructing? Oh my gosh, instructing once you're done?
I think so. When I signed up for it, I that wasn't really I wasn't thinking about that very much because of kind of like what how it was told to me, like how the class would work. It was more so like, oh, this just sounds like an awesome experience.
Yeah.
Many people have said like it was the best decision that they've made to
Mm,
do yoga teacher training. But after sitting with it for a while, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I think I really would enjoy doing this. I definitely want to at least give it a try for a little while.
yeah. Wow. Next thing we know, you're gonna be like in the jungle somewhere. Be like, "Where's Daniel?" Be like, he went to the jungle."
I'm just meditating in the Himalayas.
Like that, and doing little improv classes on the
Yeah,
side while
do,
you dance in the evening.
doing some yes and.
Yes, yes. Oh my gosh. That's such a useful tool, by the way. That one of the rules of improv is the yes and. So you agree, you make an agreement, and then can let the story continue with an end, essentially. Would you say that's it in essence?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's perfect description.
So we don't shut it down. We don't end things with no. we keep it flowing, which I mean can be difficult sometimes, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Depending.
It's really challenging. At
Yeah.
least for me. Like I actually have a really hard time with yes and just because it's like I don't know how to like world build on this.
Does your analytical mind just start running and you're like, no, and we
Yeah.
can't do that. It
Yes,
doesn't make
exactly.
sense.
You're really good at running with those prompts that they give. Like I remember your first scene, I don't know if it was your first, but the one with Carol where you were like she was like
Oh my
proposing
God.
to you.
That was hilarious.
That was actually
I
so funny.
seriously though, okay, that was my favorite one because it was so fun, but I give like full credit to Carol on that because Carol is the one who was running that scene. I was just literally sitting there and she's like this and this. I'm like, okay, like,
You were responding so well though. Like that
okay.
was definitely a team thing.
I appreciate that. I don't know about you, but I kind of black out a bit when I'm like on stage because
Yeah.
there's so much happening at once. And I sit down, I'm like, what the just happened? Like, what literally just happened?
Yeah.
It's hard to, it's honestly, it's a skill in itself, just like staying present when we're doing some of those.
Seriously.
Yeah, it's fun though. I just think I just get such a gas out of like like it actually has made me emotional more times than I like to admit how once those classes are done, like how much hope and excitement it brings me just knowing that like all these people just came in and decided to like push pause on their life and come into this space and laugh and play. Like this is what the world needs is
Yeah.
this.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
I was so pleasantly I have been continually so pleasantly surprised with like this group of people where it's just yeah we exactly what you said we're just all like you know what I need a break from life and I just want to like play I just want to be like
Yeah.
I just want to bring my childhood into my adulthood.
Yes, this is what we need. And I've actually, because I've been kind of chatting here and there, and like this is actually becoming more common. Like people are stepping into more people are stepping into improv classes. Like I think there's something in the ethers, in the consciousness that's like pulling people out of their little caves and shells that they've been living in. And that's actually, to me, that's a really promising sign.
It is.
we're
It's really
bringing
nice
we're
to see.
bringing authenticity online in a sense,
Yeah.
right? When it starts with us, like the choices that we're making and the way that we decide to kind of step out of what our norms, like we say,
Yeah.
yeah, stepping out of our comfort zones, if you will. But I think it's also allowing ourselves to be in other people's energies and like to share our energy with people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I feel like you really lose that as an adult in this
yeah,
society. It's like we're we really had it all figured out when we were kids, and then we lost
I
it
really did.
when we grew up.
I don't know
And
about you. Like when you were a kid, did you get together with like your neighborhood friends, like run around the yard? I don't know. We made dances in the front yard and like did all sorts of things.
yeah, it was like you know just schedule sleepovers every other week and like
Yeah.
just try to do whatever. Oh, we want to go play in the park. Yeah,
Yeah. And like pure imagination too. Like this, and that's the improv is like definitely bringing my imagination back online. So
yeah, yeah, totally.
it's really fun. It's actually kind of wild to think because I think we're in like week 7 here. How much has actually
Yeah,
shifted for me in 7 weeks? I don't think I'm alone in that. I think we're all
hmm
feeling that in some way.
yeah, I would agree with you. It's
Yeah.
even watching people like the progression of how I mean maybe some of it is just being comfortable with each other, but I think also just the confidence that people are getting to kind of
Yeah.
explore I don't
Yeah.
know whatever who they are.
Using their voice,
Yeah.
expressing. Yeah, it's honestly I can't really recommend this enough
Hmm.
to anyone. I think anyone could benefit from this, really. So plus we're getting conversations and friends out of it. Like
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
extends far beyond the 2 hours on Sundays for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a really good group of people. Like I feel also like the kind of person that would choose to like sign up for a course like that. I feel like that in itself is a good vetting process for like, oh, I feel like these are just going to be pretty cool people.
Yeah. Even if they're surprising themselves. Like, I mean, I wasn't expecting to be doing improv. I literally just had some like signs and like some messages that I couldn't ignore. And I was feeling a little serious way too serious about life. And this has shifted it for me, actually.
That's really good. How are
Yeah.
you liking your podcast? That's so
I'm
exciting that
having
you just
a blast. My favorite part, because I'll do an intro. I'll do an intro for this. I start recording intros after, and then I'll be like, hello and welcome back. This is another episode of Chatting with Humans. And that's like my favorite part. It's so fun, just like doing an intro.
yeah,
No, but honestly, I'm having a gas. Like, I've already had like, I don't know, 5 conversations at this
really
point,
nice.
and they're only gonna come out every week. So I already got like this wonderful backlog, which I
Got a
love.
backlog. Yeah.
Yeah. And the conversations have been so cool. It's honestly really refreshing having a guy on, I'm not gonna lie. Because you've got to have that diversity, mix it
yeah,
up. But
for sure.
I've also interviewed a couple people that I'm co-authoring in a book that's coming out in March.
That's cool.
Yeah, and trying to keep it real,
Hmm.
which I mean, arguably could come on here and wear a mask, and I think we're all wearing different masks, but we're doing the best we can, right?
Yeah.
There is like a level of nerves and discomfort, but I'm starting to get used to it, and you're making it easy. You fell into I feel like you're falling into this, like you're a natural.
So,
I even had my mom on. Like, come on.
so
Yeah.
that's good. Good to hear. I'm glad it's not
Yeah.
too difficult with me.
Next thing you know, well, not when you're in the jungle, but you'll be on like on other podcasts talking about the jungle. Just watch. Yeah. Just look at my crystal ball. Oh yeah. Okay. I see it now. No, but this is good. I'm so glad that and I put this out to the class, our crew, our classmates. I don't know what to call them. Our improv fam. And you were the first one that was like, "Yeah, sign me up." So I was
yeah.
like, this is not, I was like, I want to get some people on here, and like I wanted to talk to the improv crew. So thank you so much for doing that. And I hope I can have you back, because I feel like there's some more we can explore and chat on, but I also find these 60 minutes just like fly by. But I
Yeah,
hope you had
yeah.
some fun.
I saw that message in the group chat. Like, I kind of hesitated at first, but then after thinking about it for like 5 minutes, I'm like, why not? Hell yeah, that sounds like a great time.
Right? It wasn't bad. Huh?
What?
No, it wasn't
I'm,
bad. Yeah,
oh yeah, no, this is fantastic. I want to do
there
more
we go.
podcasts now.
That's what I'm saying. You even have the mic. You're like good to go.
yeah, yeah, I
You
got.
got the audio. You got it all set. Maybe once you're done your yoga training, you can come back and talk about how that went and how that impacted you. Because I'm actually curious to hear what other levels this is going to take you to and attune you to. Because I think there's something there that you're like unearthing in real time right now, and it's really exciting to watch.
Yeah, no, I feel the same way too, and yeah, no, I love to do that. Love to. I also love to do like retrospectives. I don't know if you can tell, but I like just kind of like running through how things happened, uh,
Yeah,
and kind of analyzing them, and yeah, lots of fun
yeah.
doing
We'll
that.
do a full-on breakdown.
Yeah, that
Awesome.
sounds
Well,
great.
thank you so much for coming on, Daniel. See you on
Thanks for
Sunday.
having me in. Yeah, we'll see you, Darrel-Lynne.